The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman here. This is Wednesday, the 21st of August. We're looking at the Dow that was up 100 and something. It hit 40,000. This is very interesting. The 40,990s is going to be a lot of resistance, but it did go to the 40,963 level. Now it's down a little bit, down 3 points at 40,831. We're just on a very short-term basis. Let me just look at the 120-minute. No, let me go to the 120-minute chart that I show subscribers every single day. Yep, it went to an E, and now it's pulling back. I don't have any automated Chapman wave resistance levels. The next one is up is at 41,519. That's very far away. And I need to look to see. I think we might have started. Leg B is continued. Yes, leg B is continuing. Today we went to the Chapman wave inside track right there, the repellent zone, still a repellent zone. Yeah, so all in all, the 9-period moving average. Okay, let me just go back to the charts right here. Let me go through one at a time. And I've got about 6-7 stocks or positions that we need to look at. People have asked me about. Okay, so here we go. The Dow is up at 40,837. The price is way over the 9-period moving average. The 9-period moving average is way over the 14. The MACD is strong. The relative strength index is strong. The stochastic is at 86%. That's great. The on-balance volumes are a tad overbought. That's the daily. The weekly chart, there's a work in progress. The most important thing is that the 9 is way over the 14, and that's helping stabilize the upside for the Dow. So that's good. We'll talk about the monthly when we get to it, the end of, right at the, 30 days or something? 31 days. We'll go to the 30th day, which is Friday a week. All right, don't forget this Friday, Larry's doing one of his live trading sessions. Should be a fabulous one as always. So let's go to the S&P. SPX. So this is going to be very interesting because here's the S&P. The high today is 5619.38, just under the high of yesterday, which was 5620.31. The day is young. We can still do it, but hey, how about this? The SPLV. Now, I hardly ever hear anyone, if I've ever heard anyone talk about it, it's some news to me. But I've had this on my radar for a long time. And what it is, it's the low volatility. In other words, the S&P 500, and what they've done is they've taken the low volatility aspect and turned it into an ETF, and that ETF is 69.82 was the high April of 2022. That was the all-time high. It plunged down to 55.99 in October 2022, made this beautiful lopsided cup formation. The Chapman wave inside wedge target resistance line and this dashed green line, which said that I'm being a little bit liberal because I had to choose the plumb line, and I chose this particular candle right here, the candle high of July of 2023. So that takes you to right there. It takes you to October of 2024 to get to 69.82. You know where we are right now? Today we hit 69.47. So the low volatility is doing better than the S&P. What about the RSP? RSP. So the equal weight is the same as the S&P, more or less the same as the S&P, underneath the all-time high. But isn't that interesting that we've seen the SB low volt LV doing so well? And look at this. I believe this is only a leg B. It's the same as the Dow, leg B, but the Dow hasn't made a new all-time high. It's getting close, but it hasn't. And this is an alternate account, F. It could be an instant restart in the weekly chart. That could be a B, not an F. the daily is going to tell us what to do. I think next week's the week that we might get D's and E's, where we'll start to become cautious again. Up until then, it's very positive, extremely positive. And the question comes in, why would you say that? Well, I'm not saying it. The price itself, look, the price is way over the 9 in the daily. The 9 is way over the 14. All the other technicals are great. The stochastics at 96.88. This is the low volume, right? Low volatility, I should say. And the weekly chart's also the same thing. So far, up until anything can happen, but up until this very second, which is at 11 minutes past 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the 21st of August, so far everything's good. All right, let's get back to the QQQ. Difference. So here's the QQQ. Just trying to get to an extension of leg B. I think it's going to try for that today. We'll see what happens. That was the high yesterday was 482.94. And so far, the high today is 482.69. We're not even an hour into the session. I think it's going to make an extension of leg B. That means, in the Chapman wave methodology, if you get an upgrade from a buy signal to a buy mode, and this is in a buy mode, the implication is it should go to at least four higher peaks. Doesn't say how high, but it says higher each time you make a peak. In other words, you go up to, let's say, 20. If the next bar, doesn't matter if it's a 1 minute chart or a monthly chart, if the next bar is 19.99 and it closes there, that's the high of that bar, that's a peak. Okay? Simple. Now, let's look at this and go on to the IWM. No, I wanted to show you the composite. Oh, please tell me that my notation's all there. Please. Yes, it is. Leg B, it could be a peak B. It's working a little harder because this is over 2,000 stocks to get to 17,932.54, 1 penny higher, and that extends leg B. But this is really good action, and because the stochastics at 96.02, I have to put an up arrow, and it implies it's a buy mode. It should go to at least a peak D. That's the composite. Let's go to the IWM. This has been lagging. It's up 93 cents at 213.63. I should mention we are aggressively long the Dow. We are along the IWM. We're along other positions as well. But in the meantime, it's done very nicely. But nicely is not good enough. Yesterday, the 9-period moving average crossed positive. Today, it's still positive. I want to see if it's a leg C above 215.21, 1 penny higher. I want to see not just 0.22. I want to see it really scream into that candle. I spoke about this yesterday. I'm not going to spend too much more time, but it needs to get to 217.50. I would like to say by Friday. I'm not sure it's going to do that, but that's what I would like to say. Okay, let's go to the SMHs. SMHs are up to, hasn't taken out yesterday's high, leg B. It'll be a peak B if there's no new high. Fib number has the, what is that, 618 resistance coming up right here. So we'll see if that's able to take it out. It hasn't yet. So I'm expecting some kind of consolidation today. I'd love for a little extension of those leg Bs because that just takes longer to get to the peak. Meantime, back at the ranch, we've got, now the Dow's up to some use. Go to the and I was busy talking. Peak F, there it is. Peak D, Peak F.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, charts and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
There's no better time than now to sign up for Live Trading Fridays. Why is that? That's because the next trading session, this Friday, August 23rd, coincides with Jerome Powell's Jackson Hole speech. Chairman Powell's comments have the power to greatly move the market, and Larry is ready to capture those gains on the moves. Use code LarryAUG24 at checkout to save $50 off your first month. See you there, Tigers.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hi folks, so just while we were talking that at 10 o'clock, as I was doing the news, the 1 minute S&P mini made a peak F, pulled back very sharply. The 5 minute made a peak D, and the 10 minute has just confirmed, I need to have one more bar. So it's about another, how many minutes to go? Yeah, but maybe 2 minutes to go to confirm that was a peak F. But look what happened. It went right down to the 5 minute 200 period moving average of 56.26. Wasn't good enough. It almost tested the 56.22 200 period moving average of the 10 minute chart, and now it's bouncing. And I think that's what we're looking at here. Now we're looking at a rather overbought situation, but because buying keeps coming in, and because overall you just keep reading negative stuff about the economy, I think this is good action so far. All right, let's get back to our story. We were looking at the SMHs coming back a little bit. I wanted to look at gold. So gold is down 8 at 25.41. I've got this as a peak B. I could give it an alternate count F. I don't see any reason. It's 89% stochastic. MACD is good. 9 over the 14. Everything here says it's in a new buy signal to buy mode, and that says this is a leg B to the upside. No new high today. It makes it a peak B, and it's a leg C in the weekly chart and a leg C in the monthly. So all of this is very positive. Let's go to silver SI. Silver is down 0.06, had a really good move from 20.60 up to the 30 level yesterday. We're giving back a little bit at 29.44. Weekly chart has been making lower lows and lower highs. Really needs to get to the 3110 level, 30.90 to 3110. It really has to start touching the 31s. All right, high-grade copper. High-grade copper is up today, up 0.02 at 4.18. Yeah, it's not bad. That 200-period moving average at 4.20 on the continuous contract. That is strong resistance. Okay, now we're getting, and GDX. I was asked about GDX. GDX is in a leg C. Maybe it's a peak C today. It should still go to a D. So it's a little bit ahead of the general consensus in the key indices. And they have been kind of moving together. So we'll see if that's going to remain. But this is still good action and the stochastics at 94. That's really 94% is fabulous. Let's go on to you want to do crude oil. Crude oil is just trying to bounce a little bit here, but it's making this arch formation like a dreaded H. And I have to tell you that this support level right here in the weekly chart, this is going to be important to hold. Let me just move it down a little bit because this gets smoothed out. It is a continuous contract, meaning that the price keeps getting, all right, there. The price gets smoothed out. None of the chart formations, nothing about it changes other than the price. So this is says that the level that we've got to monitor is 70. A close below 70 would be not a good sign at all in the crude oil, but so far it's up 40 cents. I want to just quickly do the TLT. The TLT is up quite nicely in the weekly chart, but the daily is down 10 cents at 98.57. I think from the pattern that I'm looking at, this cup formation, that there should be an attempt to get to 99.94. And the Fed talks on Friday at 10, so maybe hasn't got much time in which to do it. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an important discussion on Friday. Okay, now let me do the questions. I'm going to go a little bit backwards here. ISRG was a question. This is intuitive surgical, robotic surgery, huge leg D after a doji candle. A close above that high would be very positive. And so far it's doing very well. MACD is good. Stochastics flat at 93%. On balance volume isn't overbought. Relative strength is good. So what we're looking at here is intuitive surgical, robotic surgery going to all-time highs. Leg, this is very interesting. I would like to call that a phantom peak right there on the week of the 6th of July at 448.10, and then a dollar, I think, but exactly a dollar. No, less than, dollar and $1. No, it's 99 cents higher the following week at 448.10, and then you've got 449. So I'm inclined to call this I like to be a little conservative. I don't mind changing it later, but I'm going to do this because of these two weekly chart highs that were just fractionally higher. I'm going to call this a phantom peak. I want to be ahead of the game. I want to know that if there's a sudden turn down, I'm prepared for it. So I'm calling that an A. I'm calling that's a red A, meaning it's a Chapman phantom peak. It wasn't an official A. I've made it into an A. I have a technique. I have a methodology. I haven't just snatched it out of thin air. And this is now a C. So it's moving along in the notation. But look at this. The technicals are fabulous. Stochastics at 89%. On balance volume's a tad overbought like it is in the daily. But wait a minute. Daily's at leg C, maybe peak C. The question was, where should I exit? Is this time for me to exit? I said, everything I'm looking at says no. Why? When there's a slow stochastic and it's flat in the mid-90s, it's at 95% and flat, I have to look at the on-balance volume and say, hey, that's a little bit on a daily basis, it's a little bit overbought, it could pull back. But the price is way over the 9. The 9 is way over the 14. The MACD is expanding. The histogram is still holding, the vertical lines are still good. It's just the on-balance volume says it's a little bit overbought, but that's the daily. I think this is looking really good. I would not be exiting. What I would say is if you're doing your own homework and it's beyond what you thought was an expectation to go to highs, there's nothing wrong right here. You remember Dave White? The implication that Dave White always had was take something off when you can, not when you have to. And I'm just saying, if you want, take a little bit off right now. But I think it's going higher. Now, how high? That's a different thing. The 500. When you get to round numbers, I think the whole area of the 490s is going to be a big test for ISRG. But usually when you've got this far and you've gotten into the high 480s, often there's just a chance that you're going to go to the 500, 501, 505, and that's where you've got to be really careful. So I'm just suggesting I would do this. If you ask my opinion, and you did, I'm going to say no. But what I would do is one part of the position, either right this second at 484.25, you take it off. It's just part of money management. Or you can raise the stop and have a trading stop. I'd have a trading stop, make it a trading stop of about 8 points. And if it goes to that leg, if today is a peak C and it goes to a leg D, and that's above, I'm speculating because I don't know if it's going to go above 488.48, the high of yesterday. Today's high is only 487.68. So if it does that, it extends leg C. But if it doesn't, and then Thursday or Friday it goes above that, you might say, okay, now I'm going to take a little bit off. But it looks great. It really does. I'll be back in a moment. I've got a whole bunch of others that people want to look at. I'll be right back. Basil Chapman, Dow's up 27, S&P's up 60.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, so I was asked about SoFi Technologies, Inc., online banking, financial solutions, student loans. You know, I've had trouble with this one in that it always sounds like this is the one that really should work. And then I look at the chart and it just keeps going down, 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 and has a pop-up. I'm afraid of these pop-ups. Let me explain what if there's a characteristic in a stock, always look at the characteristic. And what is the characteristic of this one? Is to pop and drop, pop and drop, pop, lower highs, lower lows, lower, and all of a sudden it makes a higher high, breaks out of the channel, and then goes right back into the channel and makes a lower low. And now it's starting another move up. This move is, it has the signs that if it's able at 7, SOFI is a symbol, 7.24, it has the signs that suggest if it is able at any point, and now I have to talk very short-term days because that's the way the chart works, because when it moves up beautifully, and then it just stops dead. This is like a larger dartfish. I talk about dartfish day where the market suddenly moves up just a little bit, and you think, okay, that's the breakout, and then it stops dead. And then it goes back down, and you think, oh, it's going to fail. No, stops and goes. And it just has these quick moves. This is the same sort of thing, except the moves are daily, and it's a little bit longer. But it's the same characteristic. So this is the first time that it's revisited the 200-period moving average after pulling away down very sharply. So that says to me that there's something to the stock, but it's a real tough one to trade. And I would call it a trading stock. If at any point the weekly chart starts to trade with the price, now the trend line that we're looking at, the resistance is at 765 or something, depends when. Okay, 790, but it keeps coming down because of the declining trend line. Today it's at 796, next week it'll be 787, that's the way it works. So if you can get this for the first time in months, if you can get this 9-period moving average to go green, that's different. All of a sudden you've got something that's viable, and it means that at that point you're probably going to be very close to 7.80 something, and then you can actually make a new leg, maybe a leg B to the upside in the 8s. So it's a work in progress. Now, it's down today. It's at 722, 721 actually. 200-period moving average is at 730. And I don't know whether you want this as like a portfolio thing that you're going to buy now and you don't want to look at it again for a long time. I can't do that. If this is making higher highs and higher lows, I could say, ha. But the characteristic is exactly the opposite. So if you're interested in this stock, it's now 723, someone's listening to us, I'm going to say start a very small position, but even then you have to consider it a trading position. I just have no choice because the characteristic is that it just keeps failing. But this is the first time, this is a better picture in the daily. I've got it a little enlarged. So you can see that 200-period moving average is now becoming a magnet line. You want it to become not a magnet line and then a repellent line because it keeps pulling back further away. You want it to be at least every time it pulls back, even if it goes to the 705 level, which is the 9-period moving average, within days it wants to get back to that 200-period moving average. It has to have this pattern here, but even there, because it was the first time in months that it had gone to the 200-period moving average in the daily chart, it just dropped. Now it's back again. It says this could be the pivot point right here, and I like to think of this tide going out, maybe right here, tide going, tide going down means that the price goes down, tide going in, coming towards the land, of course, tide is coming in, and this is what you want to look at. Now you can maybe see higher prices. That's my recommendation. Right here in the 720s, start a position. You seem to have done your homework. This is something you like. For me, I think once we had it very briefly, and I think we got taken out for a small loss. I said, not working. Or it was a tiny gain. It just didn't work. But this time is the first time that it does show some characters. Look, even the 914 in the weekly chart, for the first time, you're making higher highs. No, higher lows, not yet higher highs. So that's going to be important because it could turn green. So I hope that helps you. And then you also had another one, PayPal. So this is one that I've been looking at, forever. Because it always sounds like this PayPal should be right in the area that everybody wants. And yet it's gone from the 300s down to the, I think it was like 49 or something. Now it's trading at 71. So I think that this last low right here was on the July the 26th at 56.97. Yeah, so I've got this as a leg C in the daily. I've got it as I have to have no choice but to give it an alternate count E/B. It's either a continuation of that peak D or it's a brand new buy from this low that right here, the 50, what did I say it was? 56.97 low. But look at the weekly chart, monthly chart. It's actually forming a bowl formation, starting to make higher highs and higher lows. So here I'm going to say it's the same thing as SoFi. The difference with PYPL, PayPal, is that there's a history that this once was in the 300s. So you would expect that there are a lot of people that if this was to break at any point above this whole congestion area, even if it's just this high that was made back in July of 2023, just over a year ago at 76.54, you could find that there's a new bunch of buyers. So here I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to say start your engine at 71.65. But it should go to, this is a leg C, it should go to a D, and that means it can go quite a bit higher. I would have patience to add another position, and that position is the real position, the real second position. So the first is just a real starter, not that big, but it's a starter position. But if you can see, well, first of all, the high that was made on the 1st of August at 67.30, I don't want to see a 4-point decline very quickly, especially if it's still going to go to a D, which will be maybe up in the 72s. So I'm just going to say I'd like a pullback, preferably between 68.50 and probably 67.90. I don't want to see it hit that high from the peak A. It should be above that so that it doesn't impact the 914 at all. So that's my recommendation. Now, is this an intermediate term buy? If I'm expecting some kind of a top next week, just based on my Chapman notations, this one should pull back as well. And that's the reason why I'm saying I wouldn't get too aggressive with starting something brand new right now. But yes, start your engine, but be careful. You've got to have a trading position. I'll be right back. Basil Chapman, Basil, 91.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust. The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
There must be a lot of buying going on because all of a sudden my trade station, which is usually stable, is not allowing me to grab that rectangle there. You see the little circle that keeps fluttering around there? Well, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so the 1 minute chart just went to a leg D in the quickest period of time. I'm trying to drag this across, and you can see it's a nice plumb line from the left side high to the low to the right side breakout. I can't call this anything else but a leg B in the 5 minute chart and an A in the 10 minute chart. Wow, that's a nice quick move. A breakout there from that support of the 200 period moving average. All right, so the question came in about CMG. I'm going in order here. CMG, Chipotle. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Wrong chart. That's the E-mini. Right there. Yeah, so Chipotle, CMG is the symbol, is trading up $1.76 at 53.69. Up against the 200 period exponential moving average. So remember we were talking about the 200 period moving average, but in this case it's the exact opposite. Chipotle did a 1-to-1 to the upside. I drew this in some time ago, and it almost went to a peak D. Remember, Chapman wave Ds are where anything can happen. You got to be a little careful. And then what happened was, why am I sliding to the left here? Because I wanted to show you the 200 period moving average. So this is the exact opposite where PayPal and what was the other one we're looking at so far? They were way under the 200 period moving average. Finally, they visited them. Here, it's the exact opposite. The price was way above and then came down. So now it's the opposite. What you want to see is a propellant with the price going from 53.65, and there's a dreaded H pattern, but I think it's a successful one, 47.98 and 40. Whoa, what's going on there? 48, round number low. Okay, so that was a successful H pattern. Now I can say, therefore, if it starts to close, this is a whole work in progress, because if CMG, Chipotle, Mexican Grill, restaurant, it needs to close to really get an intermediate term buy signal. It needs to close 2 out of 3 bars. That's in the daily chart. That'll be days above the 12th of August high of 56.34. That's actually quite over. It's almost 3 points. But if it does that, I'm going to be much more convinced that the low that was made right here on the 5th of August is in fact important. But the gap, after everything else is moving so nicely, this gap down to retest that low, that just says to me that pattern that you talk about all the time, the lowercase h that goes to a lowercase m, that's the pattern that is in place right now. We've got an H pattern, and now it's going to try to make a second arch formation so that it goes to, like an H goes to a lowercase m. Lowercase h goes to lowercase m. It's this pattern right here. If I can just do it quickly, I don't want to run out of time. It's this pattern right here. Click. There it is. Goes straight down, and then it arches up, and it comes and retests the left side low. If it's successful, it can do another arch formation. And what you want to see is the price goes, especially if it's failed at a peak A or a B, you want to see it go above the arch high, and 2 out of 3 bars needs to close above that. That means you can now change that pattern to make a cup, this cup formation. That becomes a very powerful cup formation. So it's a work in progress. I personally, looking at this based on the weekly chart and the monthly chart at a peak C, I'm just saying I think it's going to take some time. So unless out of the blue by Friday to Monday, you're suddenly looking at, here it is at 53.71, you're looking at Chipotle CMG trading and holding all day into the gap, into the 54.90 area, 55.30. If it does that, I'll say, hey, this is going to be very good action. So it's a work in progress. Next question was, whoops, I just, RCL. Oh, I didn't tell you the support. If today's Wednesday, therefore by next Tuesday or Wednesday, if CMG has closed under 51.30, I'm going to make it 51. Just stay away. It's going to take time. Almost forgot about that. Okay, RCL. This is Royal. Oops, there it is. Royal Caribbean Cruises made a peak F in the daily chart and then plummeted and gapped. And now it's got an island reversal. Okay, and the question is this going to be coming back down? So let me just do this F. There it is. And that becomes, I believe, I'm doing this quickly, so this might be wrong, but I believe that is a higher low, so that's a B, and that's a C. And then what do? We get, I usually use these as a circle just to illustrate, but it means something else to me, the circle. So I'm just saying this is an island reversal, and now it's going to peak A, peak B, peak C. So if you're looking for the downside action, then what you have to be thinking of is this. If there's a D, even though it's a very quick A, B, C, and then a D in the next day or two above the high that was made on the 19th of 157.8, 161.82, goes to 0.83, that becomes a D. I wouldn't mess around with the short side, because look, you see this candle in the weekly chart, you see that huge down move, and then it turns into a green candle, and the 9 didn't even budge, it goes back. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. You see, this is the same thing. Look at that candle. This is the 5. It doesn't matter what it is. It happens to be the 5-minute E-mini. Look what happened. It came down sharply. It got a big green candle, and yet that 9-period moving average never budged. It stayed green. And now we've got, I should have put that in. That's a brand new, because it took it all out. This has to be a B. B can fail. Something's going on right now because there was a D in the 1-minute chart. So look, that is what we're looking at right here. Yes, it can fail, but you've got to respect the strength of the 9-period moving average. So you want to see, by the end of the day, it's down $1.16 at 157.68. You want to see this peak C fail. And you want to see by, I'd say by tomorrow afternoon, Friday at the latest, it closes. It doesn't have to close. It just needs to trade under 155, and that'll say, okay, now the 9-period moving average in the daily of RCL, Royal Caribbean Cruises, could start to go pink. It hasn't yet. I'll be right back.
The consistency you're looking for is closer than you think. 1 or 2 adjustments are usually all you need to change your equity curve from red to green and keep it there. Come join Larry Pesavento live to learn what separates the winners from the losers. Join Larry Pesavento on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where Larry will show you the market setting up and, most important of all, the state of mind of a winning trader. By watching Larry trade, you'll learn the Fibonacci levels, you'll learn how to apply A to B to C to D trading patterns, you'll learn trade management, pattern recognition, and much more. Join Larry August 9th and 23rd for more live trading action. For this month only, use code LarryAug24 at checkout to save $50 off your first month as a subscriber to Live Trading Fridays for his live trading sessions, where you'll sit right beside him as he trades the market live. For this month only, enter code LarryAug24 and save $50 off your first month. For all the information and to reserve your spot today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Yeah, I need to apologize because I was so busy doing all the questions that I had. I just want to see if I've not skipped anything. I don't think I've. Yes, I've got one that I'll get to in a second. But I wanted to say this was a peak D in the 1-minute chart of the E-mini. That is an Eiffel Tower straight up. And then if bad news comes, there's nothing you can do. I can't call that an E because it took out the initial starting point of the trough that made the P started a peak A. So that is an aberration. It's very unusual, but it did fail because of some news. Maybe the Fed leaked. I don't know what it is. But anyway, this, I did this just too quickly. I put a down arrow on that peak F, but the 9 was way above the 14. Normally, I wouldn't do that. I'd do a plus sign, but I was so busy with everything else. And then what happened is it went, and that correct, Dan in the den, this is a G. And that G at 56.55, that is where the news broke. Whatever it is, it already started pulling back, but that becomes a G, and that can now, if the 9-period moving average, well, it took out the 200-period moving average. So now I can put in a down arrow. That was incorrect on my part. I was just so busy, and I should have waited, because if the 9's over the 14, it says, watch out, there's still strength. You've got to be looking at some other things. So I just wanted to clarify that. And a couple of other things that I wanted to do is this. So within within the context of what we're looking at for the day, the Dow's now down 70. The S&P is only up 0.82. But nothing changes in my work. I mean, I can't accept it's an aberration in that 1 minute chart because let me show you. So look, the Dow. So it's still a leg B. Like yesterday where it pulled back from a high, it was still a leg B. This is still a leg B. That means maybe tomorrow there's a peak B because we don't go above 40,974.40. But so far, look, all the technicals are positive. So there's nothing I can say. Technicals are positive. We got a sudden burst of selling, and you have to deal with it. I'm going to say that I'm looking for higher peaks going into next week, and I'll leave you with that. Check out my opening call daily newsletter. Stay tuned for Steve Rhodes and all the great programming. Don't